Today I've come to a place where I haven't been for some time. There's a car alarm and I can hear several international languages, and this spot used to be so quiet and now it's become a sort of international mecca. And it's not even the main international mecca of, when I say mecca, it's a site which has become world famous. I'm talking about Dorset. I'm not going to Dorset today, but I am going to Lulworth Cove. I've been coming to Lulworth Cove since I was about naught, and it's a place I know well. When you arrive, there's an enormous car park, and I once had an accident at this point where there was some big plant pots which they have now moved, but this is the major car park, and that hill over there with the big steps, that can take you up to Dorset. I warn you, once you get to the top of the hill, there's still quite a walk to Dorset. But we are going to go down to the cove today. And there's the great Finley's Fish and Chips here. There's a visitor centre. The village of Lulworth is very much still part of the Weld family. And so it's basically a private village. Everything is owned by the Weld family. The pub over here, the Lulworth Cove Inn, is a Badger pub. Badger is a brewery in Dorset, which is situated in Blandford, and they make a great range of beers. And opposite the pub we have Jake's homemade ice cream, and there's a visitor centre and gift shop over there. And there you have Finley's Fish and Chips. But we are going down to the cove. So there's no driving down to the cove. You basically have to walk from this spot. It's interesting how people rename this. This wonderful little house here, we used to always call the richest house, but I now see it's been painted and renamed the Doll's House. This I've always known as the mill pond, but I've never seen it so actually grown. And there's a restaurant here called The Lodge, which seems to be very popular. So we are going to walk down to the cove. Years ago, I once came down here and they were advertising a car. They were doing a photo shoot, an advert, and the actual car was something called the Allegro, that the UK viewers might remember as not the fastest of cars. As I walk down, I wish I could convey the smell. It's a nice smell. It's a sea smell. It's salty. It's sea combined with fish and chips. Now this is quite new. There was some controversy a few years ago because this cafe, there used to be a great cafe on this space here, and there's been quite a lot of change down here. The original cafe's gone. They've converted the boat shed over there into a cafe, but what it has done is it's opened up this wonderful area. And this is why Lulworth Cove is so well known, because it is a perfect cove. It's chalk, and on the outer end it's a sedimentary rock which is harder, and there's sandstone in the middle, so the sea has carved out from the sandstone and the chalk, and we've got the other lying sedimentary rocks at the cove opening. So many school trips come down here because it is just such a perfect cove. It's the classic example of how a cove is formed, with softer rocks being eroded. One of my favourite walks is to Mute Bay. I'm not going to do that today, but I am going to come back to this spot and we'll walk to Mute Bay. Plus, we'll do a visit to Dorset. I think probably one summer's evening when it's a little bit quieter. As you climb the hill, the cove even becomes more splendid. Here you can see the village and some old coastguard cottages down there. A lot of warning notices. People are always actually neglecting to take notice of the notice, and what people don't always realise is these cliffs do crumble, and we've had a number of incidents where rocks have fallen on people, and I don't want to be too dramatic about it, but people have died over there. So you do need to be careful. I'm standing at the top here looking down to the Stair Hole, and I had forgotten how magnificent it is. The light is in the wrong place and I'm going to get a lot of glare, but let's have a look. We'll move to over this area here so we can get a view of the actual Stair Hole. Round the corner there is the famous Man-o'-War Bay and of course Durdle Door. Over on the left hand side is the Isle of Portland. We can just about see Weymouth Bay, where the Sailing Olympics were held in 2012. That was a great event. Remember it well. The Jurrasic Coast is on the World Heritage Trail. It is a World Heritage Site. So this is what we refer to as the Stair Hole. It's not as dramatic as the door, but it is still an incredible piece of rock. So we have three types of rock here. We have the Purbeck beds, which are sedimentary rocks. We have the Portland stone, which is a very, very hard rock. And then we have the Wealden beds where we are standing. We see layers of rock, and where the continental plates have shifted and clashed, the rocks have been twisted. The Portland stone, Purbeck, is a very, very hard limestone, great for building churches and London with. I hope you've enjoyed your visit to Lulworth Cove today. I will definitely be back, and as I said, I want to go to Mute Bay and we'll visit Durdle.